itself is full of rituals, is it not so? This is a ritual, coming, sitting here, sitting there, all their setup. Kasmin bhago vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati iti. He Bhagavaha, O Venerable Sir, what is it, knowing which all this becomes known? This is the theme of this Upanishad. Keeping that theme in mind, we were given the example of the fire and the sparks, how countless sparks emerge from one fire, and at the first sight the sparks appear to be many, different from each other, and different from fire also. However, when we in fact analyze, because it is not what we see, it is how we interpret what we see, understand? What we see is not a problem, the way we interpret what we see. So somebody will say, what you see is just fire. The olden days, Puja Swami used to carry, this is more fancy, but or some just a chain. So what is this chain? And if a person comes from a village who has never seen chain, he says, this is gold. So who is right? This chain is right, or this is gold is right? It's a matter of how you interpret what you perceive. So Upanishad's teaching is how to appreciate Ishvara. By knowing one, if you know everything, that means all there is one. One, without a second, there is no two, there is no second. Meaning that even Drashta, the perceiver, and Drishyam, the perceived, are also not different. What creates a duality between the subject and object is not that the duality is there, it is that the subject thinks that I am confined to this body-mind complex and I think that the object is something outside this body. But if you ask this question, the drashta, the seer, what is the boundary? Where do the subject and object, drashta and drishyam, seer and seen, what is the separating line? Swamiji, these walls are separating line. Then the walls themselves are part of drishya. So whatever separating line you imagine, itself also becomes part of drishya, meaning that this will keep on expanding and expanding. Ultimately you will find that there is no such thing as drishya or object. Where does drashta end? What is the boundary where the subject ends? I am subject, you are the object. What is I? Where does it stop? Well, everything that I perceive is included in the perceiver, in fact. Therefore, everything is included in me. Come to think of it, even the division of subject and object, drashta and drishya also are not there. Puja Swami used to say, there is nothing other than me. First, there is no one like me. Oh, that's a big bold statement, there is no one like me. Yes, because I am the only subject. Everything else is object, I am the only subject. No one like me. And there is no one other than me. Because where is subject, where is the boundary line separating object and subject? Every boundary line becomes objectified and therefore the subject includes everything. Think about it. So we have just taken for granted this division of subject, object, atma, anatma. And so Upanishad wants us to appreciate that all there is one. Even the subject, object, division is not there. So next mantra that is selected gives us the describes again the same Ishvara, because we have to settle account with the world. And what about the world, Swami? I see the whole universe of names and forms, sentient, insentient, good, bad, indifferent, all kinds of entities are there. In spite of this variety and diversity, Upanishad says, what is one? So the next mantra that we have selected, I just read out. Agnirmurdha chakshushi chandra suryo dishashrotre vagvivritascha vedaha vayuh prano hrudayam vishvamasya padbhyam prithvi hyesha sarvabhutantaratma. One thing we have to admit, all the description has a very cultural aspect also. Cultural aspect means the way the Vedas look at the universe, the way things are seen, like the Devata or the presiding deities. This is a model. And that is, in description, that model is sort of taken for granted. All I am saying is, had I been a foreigner who had no idea of this Indian culture, then all of this may not make sense to me. What is Agni and what is this Chandra Surya and so forth. But once we are a little sympathetically, relate to this, then Upanishad says, look at the universe. What is nothing but one Paramatma. He is the cosmic person. So when we are describing the oneness of the totality is that the whole universe is a cosmic person, meaning manifestation of one consciousness. It's interesting how the Ishvara, the universe, is described as a person. Like you and I. A person has head, has eyes, has feet, As though Ishvara also had a head and eyes and feet, and I don't see any head and eyes and feet. But then the purpose of describing Ishvara as a person is how the person is a whole, an organic whole. Even though in this person there are differences such as hands and legs and head and eyes and ears, each limb is different from the other. At the same time, we know that this also is, eyes are also I, ears are also I, hands are also I, this little thing also is I. The I pervades the entire body. The whole thing is I. So it's easy for me to recognize that head also is I, eyes are also I, feet are also I. In that sense, the universe is described as a person. Agni Murdha. Murdha means head. Agni Murdha. Agni here means heaven. So heaven is the head of this cosmic person. What is heaven? The world is divided into three worlds. Universe looked upon as consisting of three worlds. Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha. This world, intermediate world, and heaven. This is how far we can see. And therefore, that which sustains everything is earth, the bottom, which the highest is the heaven, and in between that is the antariksham or the intermediate space. So he says Agnir Murdha, Agni Murdha. But Agni is used for heaven. Why is it so? Because heaven is shining, is bright. Murda, the head also, is shining in the sense that the head contains all the organs of perception. The eyes and ears and all the organs of perception are all contained in the head. The organs of perception are called devatas also because they are shining ones. So shining ones are called devatas. The sense organs are also called devatas because they illumine their respective objects. So eyes are also devata because they illumine color and form. Ears are also devata because they illumine sound, etc. So all sense organs are looked upon as devatas. And where are these devatas dwelling? In heaven. Where are they dwelling? Here. All the organs of perception are in my head, and therefore head contains all the devatas just as the heaven has all the devatas dwelling there. Therefore, Agnihi Murda Upanishad says that you can meditate upon the universe by the way. This is a way of meditation also. How the heaven is the head of this cosmic person of Ishvara. Chakshushi Chandra Surya, Chandra the moon, Surya the sun and the moon are the Chakshushi, are the two eyes of the Lord. With eyes there is sun, he sees everything that is during the day. Eyes there is moon, he sees everything that is at night. So he sees everything, day and night. Chakshushi Chandra Surya. Nishashrotre. What are the ears of this cosmic person? The quarters are said to be because that is how the sound travels. So sound travels to the quarters, therefore the quarters, the directions are said to be the ears of the cosmic person. Vag vivrutasya vedaha. Vivrutaha vag. Vag means speech. Vedaha, the Vedas. The Vedas are the speech of this Ishvara. Vivrutasya vag, the revealed. So Vedas that are revealed are the speech of Ishvara. When Ishvara speaks through Vedas, or Ishvara speaks as Vedas. So Vedas is considered to be the speech of Ishvara. Vedas are said to be the revealed texts, not composed by anybody. The Rishis are also not the writers of Vedas, not the composers of Vedas. Rishaya, they are called Drashtarha, they are the mantra Drashtarha, they are the seers of mantra. Meaning that Veda is looked upon as the speech of Ishvara. Vayu Prana, the wind or air is the breath of the Lord. Rudem Vishwamasya Asya Parameshwarasya Rudem Vishwam, the whole universe is the heart of the Lord. Because the universe is contained in this heart, in the mind. They say that the universe, the world is nothing but the mind. The mind is the world. The mind is, the world is. Mind is not, world is not. You accept this logic? When we are awake right now, the mind is. Then you perceive the world. When you are sleeping, you are fast asleep. There is no mind. That time, there is no world. So this is called Anvaya Vyatireka. Anvaya, agreement. The mind, Vishwa Jagat is, mind is. Or mind is, universe is. Mind is not, universe is not. Therefore, mind is universe. You understand this equation? You know, the clay is, the pot is. Clay is not. Pot is not. Very simple. Clay is, pot is. Clay is not. Pot is not. Therefore, clay is pot. Simple equation. So the mind is the universe is. Mind is not, as in sleep, the universe is not. But Swami, this is all not right. Who says the universe is not? When you are sleeping, who says universe is not? It's very much there. Is it not so? When I am sleeping, does the universe it remains? Is it not so for you who are awake? No, but for the sleeping person, there is no universe. Meaning, sleeping person goes into a realm where there is no universe. He goes in a realm called Avyakta, the unmanifest, the cause, which is where there is no universe. So when the mind becomes unmanifest, there is no universe. Mind becomes manifest, there is universe. Therefore, Hrudayam Vishwamasya, Ishvara Hrudayam, Ishvara's mind is Vishwam. Padvyam Prithvi, earth is the feet of the Lord. Padvyam, the dual. Earth is the feet of the Lord. Esha Sarvabhutantaratma. And this is the Sarvabhutantaratma, Antaratma, the indwelling self of all the beings. Esha Paramatma, this cosmic person of the Lord is the self of all the beings. This is in various places, like Purusha Sukta also with the description of the cosmic person. Similar description is found there, is for the purpose of meditation. Plus, as I say, in this Purusha or person that I am, even though the limbs are all different from each other, there is something that is joining all the limbs. There is something there is one harmony that connects all the diverse limbs. This is not so. Eyes have a function different from feet, and they have a function different from the ears. They're all quite different from each other. And still there is something that connects all of them. There is one self, one harmony which is running through all of them. This is an example of unity in diversity. This body is an example of unity. What is unity? This ear lobe, eye, eyes, eye, head, eye, feet, eye, hands, eye. One eye informs all the diverse limbs of this body, including every cell, in fact, is informed by the one self. Therefore, the body becomes a very beautiful example of showing the unity in diversity. And that is why here and elsewhere also, Ishvara is described as the cosmic person. As the whole cosmos is the manifestation of Ishvara. You may perhaps know how we wake up from deep sleep to waking. That model is often used for creation. When we are fast asleep, everything unmanifest, there is no universe. Then what is the next stage? Next stage is dream. Half awake stage. That is when Vedanta will explain that what is manifest in dream is the subtle body. When you wake up, then our gross body also becomes manifest. So what is waking state? The state where the self is identified with the gross body. What is dream state? When the self is identified with the subtle body of the mind. What is the deep sleep state? When the self is identified with the cause or unmanifest. One self running through all the three states. So what changes? What changes the states of the mind. Not that Atma is different in different states. Same Atma with the mind awake is called waker, with the mind the dreaming. So there are all states of mind. Dreamer, mind is sleeping, he is called sleeper. So therefore, the model is from deep sleep or unmanifest Next stage is the subtle body, half manifestation. So there is individual subtle body, and you add up all the subtle body, all the living world, cosmic subtle body. That is called Hiranyagarbha. This Hiranyagarbha is a very intimidating word, Everywhere people, what is Hiranyagarbha, Swami? But right now what we perceive are the cosmic cross bodies. So this is the Ishvara's gross form. Imagine that Ishvara, Bhagavan is dreaming. Who is Ishvara? The totality of gross bodies, totality of subtle bodies, totality of causal bodies. So when Ishvara identified with the totality of gross bodies, he is a waker, cosmic waker called Virat. When identified with all these subtle bodies, he is the cosmic sleeper called the Hiranyagarbha. When identified with all the causal bodies, he is called the cosmic sleeper, he is called Ishvara. So this is how the creation is described. From unmanifest Avyakta to subtle, the dream Hiranyagarbha, to waking Virat. Avyakta Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha, Virat. When you hear these words, people are all totally confused. If this is the first time you are hearing, then it may be very intimidating. Hiranyagarbha, But it should not be confused, because if you look at our own self, every day, right now, I am a waker, identified with this gross body. When I am dreaming, I am a dreamer, identified with my subtle body, with the mind. When I am sleeping, I am a sleeper, identified with my causal body, avyakt, unmanifest, isn't it? Imagine Ishvara the same way, just scale is different. Individual and cosmic, otherwise the same model is applied also. So this is how creation is described. From causal to the subtle to the gross. From Ishvara to Hiranyagarbha to Virat. So this is a description of Virat, of the cosmic manifestation of gross body. And this is given to us again to appreciate the unity in diversity, just as in this body consisting of all different and diverse limbs, still there is one self that informs everything. So also in all diversity and all disparity, what there is one unity in diversity. So that is the theme that is running through the Upanishads. But still, Swami, there are two things, unity and diversity. Diversity is there and unity also is there, is it not so? Yeah, Vedanta will say that diversity is mithya, unity is satyam. Mithya is appearance, one unit, one alone appears as many. This is why one person, cosmic person, is described with head as heaven is the head and sun and moon as the eyes. One appearing as many, one appearing. So, this is the description of cosmic person or the unity in diversity. And that way, very beautiful passages are there in the Mundakaopanishad, where one after the other in passages, the Upanishad describes how various things were created from Ishvara. For Atas Samudraha Giriyascha Sarve, one passage says, it's not here. From this Paramatma, all the oceans, Giraha, all the mountains, Sindhante, Sindhava, Sarvarupaha, from him all the flowing rivers emerged. So from one Paramatma emerged all the oceans, all the mountains, all the flowing rivers. Atasya sarvaha oshadaya. From him are all the oshadis, the trees as well as the medicines or herbs, rasascha, and all the rest of the essence of all of this, essence that sustains our body, all of this is nothing but one Paramatma. So it says, from this Ishvara or Paramatma are born all the oceans, all the mountains, all the rivers, all the trees, all the herbs, all the essences. Everything is born of this Paramatma, meaning that this Paramatma or Ishvara has become all of this. So the model of creation in Vedanta is not that one thing is born of the other, not that the universe is born of Paramatma, Paramatma alone manifests as the universe. You follow? Not that one entity, cause and effect, cause alone manifests as the universe. Just as the clay alone manifests as all the pots and pans, so also one Ishvara manifests as all the oceans, all the mountains, all the rivers, all the trees, all the herbs, all the essence which sustains everything, all the living beings. This Paramatma is the indwelling self of all the beings of the entire universe. In many passages, thus the Ishvara is described. Call it Ishvara, Brahman. It is Saguna Brahma, meaning that Brahman with the costume of Maya becomes all of this, or manifests all of this. And then, so this is described in this manner for us to appreciate what is given in the next mantra. Purusha evedam vishvam karma tapo brahma paramrutam etadyo veda nihitam guhayam so vidya granthim vikriti hasomya. See the translation? Purusha eva idam vishvam. The Purusha alone is all this. Idam, this, vishvam, all. Purusha eva idam vishvam. Here the word Vishwa means everything. All of the Purusha, the Paramatma alone is all of this. So word Purusha is used here. Purusha means, various explanations are given. Purusha. So Purushete, one that dwells in the city of the body. So indweller of all the cities, indweller of he is the self of all the beings, Purusha. Or Purnatvat Purusha, the one that is complete. Or Puratvat, one who fills up everything. The interesting thing is that it is Ishvara or the Lord who fills up everything. The names and forms are all like the, what do you call them, the molds. In that you pour the molten metal, then it becomes, a beautiful image. Imagine therefore, let's say that all these names and forms are molds. In that you pour. What do you pour? Bhagavan, Ishvara. One mold, other mold, that mold, this mold, this mold. And molds are many, different, diverse. We have problem in seeing oneness or unity only because of our ragadveshas. So, these cannot be Ishvara. Not this one, not that one. Meaning I have my own attachments and aversions of what kind of mold it should be. What I see is a mold, not what is poured into that. Purnatva. So Ishvara fills up everything. all the molds are there, names and forms are there, and that is the creation. So that is why sometimes Upanishad describes the Ishvara created all these names and forms and then entered into them. Or just as a bird enters the nest, so also Ishvara created all the nests and entered them as the bird. It's just a very beautiful imagery. Don't imagine that Bhagavan is separate and he enters. But it's a very beautiful imagery. Imagine that all these are different nests. First, Ishvara created the nests of names and forms. In different ways, this is described in different Upanishads. In Aitareya Upanishad also he described how he created the 5 elements, and from there he created the food, and then he created this upadhi and had all the devatas come into their respective places. The whole infrastructure is first created. Body is created, mind is created, sense organs are created, all the devatas are invited to take their respective places. The whole infrastructure is created. Then Bhagavan thinks, what's the use of this without me? Bhagavan says, all infrastructure is there. The body is there, sense organs are there, mind is there, objects are there, everything is there. But what is the use of that without me? Who says? Ishvara says. And therefore, he enters through this passage. And that's how everything becomes meaningful. It's all hollow otherwise. Everything else is hollow, meaningless, unless that which provides the meaning is there, isn't it? So therefore, Ishvara has to created all these different modes, different nests, different names and forms, different upadhis, and enter. So Purnatvat, one who fills up everything. One without it, everything will be hollow, non-existent as a matter of fact. So it's called Purusha, one that pervades everything, one who is the self of all, one because of everything is what it is, that provides satta and sphurti to everything. Satta means being existence, sphurti means shining. That I am and that I manifest or I shine is because the Paramatma is there, which gives me astitva, satta, existence, sphurti, the shining manifestation. So everything is, everything shines in my consciousness. That is because Ishvara has provided to everything satta, existence, sphurti, manifestation. So first he made these models, or he made all these molds, or he made these costumes, he made these nests, whatever you want to call it, and then filled up everything. So that's why it's called Purusha, who fills up everything. So that is why this becomes meaningful. Otherwise, this would have no meaning at all. Purusha eva idam vishvam. Purusha, the person, the Paramatma, alone, the consciousness, alone is idam vishvam. The entire universe is nothing but one consciousness. So Purusha also means consciousness. Purusha means Purna. Purusha means that is all pervasive, that which is complete, that is whole, that fills up everything, that is the consciousness. One consciousness has manifested as the universe of names and forms. Where is it, Swami? I don't see consciousness. All I see is just heads and hands and legs, and that's all I see. Some of them I like, some of them I don't like. So I get turned off from something and I get attracted to something else. That's how my life is, that's how the vyavahara is. Because I cannot go beyond this just apparent body and mind or the upadhi, I cannot penetrate. I cannot appreciate what is it that gives existence to the upadhi. So this is, a sort of a nest. The indweller is important. Purusha eva idam sarvam. So what is this universe described as karma, tapaha? This is a Vedic way of describing. What produced the universe? The karma or the actions that we perform. You can say that this universe is the manifestation of the result of our actions. This is karma phala. We perform the karma when I perform an action with a certain desire. And that result of the action is fulfillment of the desire. So if you look at this, it's nothing but the summation of the fulfillment, all the desires of all the living beings. Each one of us creates our own little world, and you create your world, and you add up everything, is the whole universe. But the reason why things are what they are is because that is how I wanted them. Swami, sometimes the child asks, Mom, why do I have this kind of color of skin? Why my friend has a different skin color? Why is my nose like this? Why my eyes are this color? So sometimes children, when they compare with others, now it is all right for me, but then ultimate answer is, that is how you want it. My child, this is how you wanted it. I don't want it. That's what you say now. Therefore, remember, be careful when desiring, because it is likely that the desire will be fulfilled. If not today, tomorrow. And when it gets fulfilled, I may not like it. Now I may not like my nose. I may not like my, I don't know, whatever, and then I complain. Why has God made me like this? God is what? An architect. Architect makes a house or home depending upon how the owner wants it. Isn't it? Architect just provides you. It's owner that decides what kind of house I want. Ishvara is architect. He's provided me this according to my desires, as I want it. No, Swami, I never wanted this nose, but you want it. When you are desiring that you do not, that time you do not know what happens when the desire is fulfilled. And thereby be careful while desiring, because the desire may get fulfilled. And it may get fulfilled in circumstances which may not be convenient, understand. I want desire to fulfill here. No, it may get fulfilled elsewhere, but whatever is the result of the fulfillment of desire. Therefore, the whole universe is what? Is nothing but the result of the fulfillment of the desires of all the living beings. My desire I express as my karma, and the karma phala comes. I wanted my nose like this. Our Bada Swami used to say, with every karma, we are making, we are creating a blueprint for our future. So everything that you do, put a little line. The whole life you have done a lot of things and created a blueprint. What? For the future? Meaning that I am the creator of my destiny. And whatever there is in the present is the product of the past, what I did in the past, which is fine. Let us not cry about that, not complain. All I am saying is don't complain. Because that's what I wanted. No, Swami, I would never. Now you do not want. At that time you wanted that. So while you have desire, better think, is it worthwhile having a desire, because the desire may get fulfilled in conditions that may be inconvenient to you. Bhagavan says you wanted it, so I'm giving you. I'm giving you example of a different kind. But we all know the story of that little boy Dhruva. There are several examples. This 5-year-old boy, and his father was a king, of course, he was a prince, and his father had 2 consorts. As usual, one was the favorite, other was not favorite. The Dhruva was the son of the non-favorite but a much better person, but she was not a favorite of the king. So each considers one son. So one is the son of the other one, the favorite one. The king is sitting, and that fellow came and climbed the lap of the father. So this boy said, I also want to sit in the lap. He also proceeded. So that stepmother said, no, you are born from me in order to climb the lap of your father. Go and ask for it. He was insulted. This fellow, 5-year-old boy, the Kshatriya boy, says, I'll show them, I will do this. He walks away and goes to forest for what? For performing penance. He comes across sage Narada. Where are you going? Going to forest. For what? For performing penance. Hey, you are a little child. Grow old. No, I want to perform penance. What do you want? I want to get a kingdom that is greater than my father's and my grandfather's also. So this is what he wanted. And he performed penance and Lord appeared before him. Seeing all desires went away. When he had darshan of the Lord, no desires remained. So he says to the Lord, I don't want anything, but I'm happy. Please give me company of your bhaktas. That's all I want. Lord says, but once you desire, you are going to get it. And then we will get this kingdom regardless. Vibhishan also. He wanted to be king of Lanka. When he left Lanka, when he went to Lord Rama, that thought disappeared. But Lord Rama says, well, you wanted to be king of Lanka, so he'll become. What I am saying is that we should be very careful in desiring, because our desire may get fulfilled. And remember, understand that whatever I am right now and whatever my life is right now is the fulfillment of my desire. I may complain about my mother and father and spouse and son and neighbor and X, Y, Z. We don't want to taunt you or taunt me, but what I am saying is this is the result of what I asked for. So, karma, tapo, brahma. So, this universe is looked upon as karma phala, the result of the actions performed by all the beings. Tapaha means tapasarya, means upasana or meditations. So Vedas prescribe these two things. Karma means the ritual performed at the level of the sense limbs, and tapaha, meditation performed at the level of mind. And thus this whole universe is a manifestation of karma and tapaha. But Swamiji, then why is there violence in the universe, and why is this many undesirable things in the universe also? Well, that is what you may have desired. That kind of tapas, that kind of thinking you may have done. That kind of meditation people may have done to bring about this kind of universe. So, Vedas explain that the universe is a manifestation of the karma, actions performed by all the beings, and tapaha, the meditation or the thinking which went along with the karma. So that it is not just what I do outwardly, but then at the same time what attitudes and thinking goes behind that karma also influences the result. So this universe is the product of karma and tapaha. The rituals performed by everybody and the penance or meditations performed by them. Meditation can be sattvic, rajas, tamas, whatever. That is why we see in the universe sattvic things, rajas things, tamas things. Sattva, all tranquility, beauty, harmony. Rajas, aggressiveness, activity. Tamas, violence. So everything we see is all the result of whatever it is that the people have thought and created. Why am I saying all this? So that we have some sympathetic view for what is. We tend to criticize anything that we do not like. I always speak to Swami, look at this person, that's all right. But that, so he doesn't, he sometimes tells lies and I hate it. This is how the universe is, appreciate for what it is, and therefore have a sympathy and the large-heartedness and compassion for everything. Because all of this is product of karma and upasana, it is the present now. What you thought at that time and did, that is what is brought about the present. And so this tells us that have a sympathetic, compassionate view of everything. There is sattva, rajas and tamas. You need all of this to complete what we have. So there is sattvic things also which are beautiful, in harmony, there is love, compassion. Rajas also is there, which is, activity, aggression, ragadveshas. Tamas also is there, violence is there. That makes the whole universe complete. So, Vishwam, Karma, Tapaha, Brahma, what it is nothing but the costume of Ishvara. What we are perceiving is the costume, but appreciate who is there behind the costume is Brahman. To see Brahman or one in all this diversity, what we need is that we have subtle account with diversity, we are compassionate towards what we perceive. Only then we can appreciate the one behind the costume. Usually our attention is confined to the costume, we react to costume. With raga and dvesha, therefore we have no time or leisure to appreciate who is behind that costume. That's why first thing, that now accept everything gracefully as it is. It's all karma phala. Karma. Lord, our Puja Swami used to say that karma phala comes from Ishvara. We perform karma and the result is given by Ishvara. Is it not so? He is karma phala data, dispenser of the result of the action. And what comes from Ishvara is all good because he is, in his all wisdom he has done this. Therefore gracefully accept it. Then we settle account with the costume. Then only we can appreciate who is the wearer of that costume. Right now the costume only preoccupies my mind and I cannot appreciate really what is to be seen. See, they acted in all the costume. Brahma Paramritam, what is Brahman? Consciousness, Atma, Self, Paramritam, Param, Supreme, Amritam, immortal. The limitless, immortal Brahman is the indweller of all these costumes. Which costume is result of karma. Why is it like this? Result of karma. Result of thinking upasana. And therefore, it's not important the vehicle in which the gold comes. It may come in a very ugly vehicle, it may come in beautiful vehicle, and so ornament may be good, ornament may be ugly, ornament I don't like, I like. What is important is what comes of that, which is the gold. And so these are all various ornaments manifesting the gold, which is Brahma, Para Amrutam. This supreme immortal Brahman. Etadyo Veda Nihitam Guhayam. So Upanishad says that one who knows is Brahman. When do I know Brahman? When I penetrate this costume. Costume created by karma and tapaha. That is what the universe is. And who is in the heart, who is indweller of all the costumes. I can appreciate that when I have settled account of the costume, no reaction to costume, no ragadveshas, when I am totally accepting, accommodating, compassionate to everything, then only I can transcend, to use the word, I can transcend the costume. Provided costume is of no consequence to me. Costume as it is great, is manifestation of Ishvara. And the indweller is Ishvara himself. Etadyo Veda Nihitam Guhayam. Guhayam Nihitam, the one that dwells in the heart, in our mind, our intellect. Saha avidyagranthim vikiritiha somya. So again and again we are told that penetrate these costumes, penetrate the name and form. Do not stop there. Do not get distracted by that. And we get distracted by just what is appearance because we have lots of opinions about how things should be. No, Swami, head must be like that, eyes must be like that, this must be like that, tree must be like that, building must be like that. Meaning that I have opinions about everything and I have demands about everything. What is good. What is right. Then what is not important to me. That is when I accommodate everything, and then you can see, then I can transcend everything. Meaning that I accommodate the costume, then I can appreciate the indweller of the costume. Etadyo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Saha Avidyagranthim Vikirati. He destroys the knot of ignorance. Here means while here, while living in this body. So Upanishad says that one becomes free here in this body while living. Meaning that one becomes Jivan Mukta, liberated even while living. Hey Somya. So Somya, etc. Somya comes from Soma. Soma means moon. And Somya is son of moon, Buddha. So he is a very good looking, very pleasant one. Hey Somya, oh pleasant one. To every teacher, the disciple looks very good looking. I guess the teacher may not looking at just the appearance or skin of the disciple, or what is behind that, that disciple, this person wants to have knowledge, that everything has been given up and there is a dedication to knowledge itself. This is a great thing. For someone even to come for this retreat, it's a great thing. How many factors must have been working to make this event happen? What an amount of grace must be there, what amount of punya karma must be there, and so forth. Because any number of obstacles, Swami said, Swami, 80 people had subscribed and registered and 65 came and whatever. So other 15 people and there are millions who did not even think of this. So this is not an ordinary thing. But then that is how we appreciate how Somya, the teacher, appreciates everyone who is a seeker of knowledge. This is the main priority of that person, and for whom everything else is secondary. Everything else doesn't matter. That's called Vairagya. Hey Somya. Therefore, good looking is because of what is inside there, which is Vairagya, that is passion, which is the Vividisha, the desire for knowledge. That's what the disciple represents, and that's what makes the teacher address him as Somya, oh good looking one. So, Iha Vikidati, he cuts across the knots of ignorance here in this body while he is here, meaning while he is alive. So this in Vedanta is called the Jivan Mukti. Mukti, liberation. Jivan while living. Liberation while living. A very important concept which may not be found elsewhere. In most other places, you find that you become liberated if you do, when you go to heaven and so forth, after death. Vedanta says, no, the freedom has to be enjoyed and experienced here. Only human body is the most suited for this knowledge and for the freedom. And so here itself, this wise person experiences the freedom, having cut off all the knots of the heart. Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.